Oh, that might be a grown one. Came up and bit it. As you guys can see, this is the main lake right here. Welcome back, guys. In this video, we are going to be doing the Lake Fork breakdown. It was end of February, pre-spawn, giant fish. Major League Fishing was also there for their stage 2 stop. So a lot of cool footage throughout the video. Ended up fishing next to Ott Defoe, Jacob Wheeler, Alton Jones Jr., who ended up winning the tournament. So a lot of cool footage throughout the video. And at the end of this video, I will be doing the official lake breakdown. The exact spots that I was fishing, why I chose those spots, and the baits that I was catching. So you guys should be able to take all this information, apply it to your own lakes, and hopefully catch more and bigger fish.
Yeah, I saw you. Just let it sink. There you are. Start reeling. Reel up your slack. Okay, let it fall. Yep, right there. Now real slow. No, you gotta go higher, a little bit higher. There you go. Yep, real slow. Steady, 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 steady. You're letting it fall. She's still on it. Biggin.
Biggin. Biggin. Be a biggin. Huh?
Boat flip it. Freaking Wheeler missed a fish, huh?
Sure did. Can I take a picture of it?
Boom. Keep coming. He's at 25. Slow down. Okay. Gosh, dang. He's moving right at us. Keep coming right over the top of him. Slow, slow. Yep. Oh my God.
How do you...
There he is. Big and 4-pounder. 4-pounder all day. That fish came out of the freaking woodworks. 3 3/4. Yeah, not a 4-pounder. Smoked it.
Nice.
Under the freaking boat. What? Boom, fish number 1. Saw him on that tree right there. He was about halfway down it, set tight to the cover. On Lake Fork, there's a slot limit. They either have to be below 16 or over 24 to be considered a keeper.
Oh, that might be a grown one.
Biggin. Biggin.
Oh, easy, baby.
That is a donkey. That is a fat fish right there. Boom, baby. Unfortunately, I don't think we'd be able to keep this fish in a tournament. $5.20. 5 1/4. Another good one. They're getting bigger. That is another freaking stud. 5-pounder?
Oh yeah.
Another 20-inch fish. Short. There's big mama. Little mama.
Huh?
Said a little guy, but we will take it.
Yeah.
Keeper.
Yeah, that's a keeper. But today we've got about 3 or 4 hours to fish. We're gonna go to the back of these creeks and see if some of these big pre-spawn females aren't moved back there getting ready for the spawn.
Pause it. Stop.
There he is. Oh, you got all dude.
Oh, buddy. Oh my God, that might be her. Oh, that might be her. Oh God. Oh God. Nope. That fish was pulling hard. 4-pounder.
Oh.
Dude, those fish are mean.
Wow.
Go back to that little stick right there. There was more. Three and a quarter. 3 1/4. Not a keeper.
That's Haute Defoe.
Huh?
I think that's Haute Defoe.
Oh my God. Another 3 1/2.
Mm-hmm. So as you can tell, we were pre-fishing for a tournament. I had never been to Lake Fork. These were just spots that I looked at the map and thought would be sustainable that weekend and the following weekend for the tournament. A little bit of backstory. Our first tournament ended up getting canceled. There was a big winter storm that came in, a lot of ice and snow, and so they just canceled the tournament. With that being said, the pattern that I really wanted to establish was pre-spawn and main lake, and I focused in on the mouths of big spawning areas and spawning pockets. And if there was a channel swing that swung up against that area, it made it even better. But I just knew with that big winter cold front that was coming in on Tuesday, highs were going to be in the 30s, lows into the 20s for 5 straight days, that the fish that the Major League Fishing guys were catching up shallow, I thought that those fish would be pulling back off. So I really wanted to try to find fish that were in that 10 to 15, 20 foot range, because I figured those fish would be staying there and more fish would be coming to me off the bank once that winter cold front came in. So just keep that in mind when you guys go to a new body of water. Take in the time of year, the water temperature, and if you guys are pre-fishing for a tournament, look at the projection forecast for the weather and see what weather you guys have coming in, and try to get on a pattern that will sustain through the week or 2 weeks to when you guys will actually be fishing that tournament. And if you're just going out fishing for the day, look at time of year, and water temperature will really dictate a lot of where you should just go start off on any body of lake or any body of water. With that being said, I'll take you guys into the first spot. I'm going to go up into the right arm here, and this is the first spot. This is where I end up catching my biggest fish. So this is all main lake right through here, and this whole area is a giant spawning flat. And so I was focusing on main lake where the channel would swing in. We'll zoom in here. And this is at the mouth of this giant spawning flat. You got the creek channel that comes in right here. And this is all submerged and standing timber. And we got a nice point that comes way out here into the middle of the lake. And I was really focusing in on the first row of trees that was just off of the main creek that ran into this big spawning flat. And so we'll zoom in just a little bit closer. You guys can see my waypoint right there. That's where I actually end up catching my biggest fish. All right, and I'll take you guys to the second spot. We'll go back down the lake here. We'll go right here, zoom in. So again, right off the main lake, another good spawning pocket right here. Again, it has a creek that runs into it. I end up catching fish right here. This is all standing timber, but the channel swings in really tight. It's a really steep bank, so I had good water depth and they could just move shallow really quickly. Again, fishing the isolated standing timber. Right back here, went back a little bit farther. This creek, it's nice and straight and then makes this one little bend. Any bend in the creek channel seemed to produce fish. Again, on standing timber out here in about the 15-foot range. And we will go to the next spot. We'll zoom back out, go right here. So this is Little Caney Creek right here. Very well known, very popular on Lake Fork. Pulled in here, main lake, right off the main lake. And again, sharp channel, steep bank. It's got good depth to it, all standing timber through here. End up catching, I think she went 6.5, right around 6 pounds. So that was on day one. On day two, so Saturday, we went down here. Again, main lake, right by the dam. We'll zoom in. So as you can see here, this is an underwater island, big long point, another creek that comes in, back, good spawning water. It's got shallow, it's got grass. But again, we're back out on the mouth of these pockets. I wanted to establish the pattern with pre-spawn fish that weren't quite shallow yet, because I knew that the water was going to be cooling down, and so they would be pulling back out. So again, all standing timber through here. Caught 4 or 5 fish, was a really good spot for me. Definitely would check that one out on Sunday. So day 3, I wanted to go back up into the creek a little bit farther. This is Little Caney Creek. Went way to the far back of this creek. And again, has good water depth out here, 20 plus foot. Creek channel swung really close up against this bank. A lot of the MLF guys were back in here, even farther back than I was. Caught 4 or 5 fish, broke one off. Don't know how big that fish was. all standing timber, but the creek channel this far back was the absolute deal. Anytime I got off the creek channel, noticing less amount of fish. So as soon as I would get back into the creek channel, I started marking a lot of fish on the forward facing sonar. Turned out to be a really good spot, a lot of fish in this area. I didn't catch any great big ones, some 4-pounders and some 3-pounders. All the big fish that I caught was, again, on this main lake pattern. So those are my 5 best areas right there. All right, so the baits we were using. The one that we caught the most on, obviously, was the Alabama rig. This is the Fifth Element by Shane's Baits. Even on a very high-pressured lake, just downsizing the A-rig, I was still able to catch a lot of fish. Again, throwing it on the Megabass 1/8-ounce jig heads paired with the 2.8-inch Kitech swimmer. So keep that in mind on a pressured lake. You guys might try downsizing your A-rigs to pick up a few additional bites. The other bait that we were catching them on, the Megabass jerk bait, I was switching in between the +1 and +2, just depending on how deep the fish were. And the color would change depending on water clarity and where I was fishing at in Fork. But again, shad pattern on that. And the last little sneaky bait that I picked up a few fish on was the 6th Sense Divine swim jig. I had that paired with a 2.8 or a 3.2 Kitech swimmer and electric shad color. Again, that's just a sneaky bait that most people don't really think about live scoping with. So keep that in mind on some finicky fish. Try throwing a swim jig and might be able to pick up a couple extra bites that way. As always, go below, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you guys want to see anything else in the future videos, or if you guys have any questions, drop us a comment below. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.